Folks, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a video for y'all showing how we're going to smooth out a brand new cast iron pan, make it a little bit more non-stick. And then this old, dirty, nasty, rusted out one that I got at a garage sale, I'm going to show y'all cleaning that one up as well. All right, first things first, this is going to be really damn messy. And these little wire wheels, I'll show you what we're using, but these little pieces of wire like to fly off. And if you don't believe me, just do a quick Google search and you can see some nasty pictures of these in people's eyes. So, not only am I going to wear safety glasses, I'm actually going to wear my safety goggles. Bam, Scuba Steve. And then also because there's so much fine rust and stuff on here, that's part of where I'm wearing the goggles also. I won't put this on until the end, but for the initial cleaning, especially on this dirty old one, I'm going to go and wear a respirator because all this stuff is going to get up in the air. And lastly, I would recommend wearing gloves. Again, like I said, these little wires like to fly off and they'll stick wherever they fly. And I guess actually lastly, I'm also wearing an old beat up t-shirt because this is going to be messy. All right, so what you're going to need, technically you can do this with a wire brush and some sandpaper. It's going to take a long time. So what I'm going to do, because I have beautiful tools, I'm going to use an angle grinder with an 80 and a 60 grit flat disc, and then a drill with this steel wire cut brush and this steel wire, whatever you want to call it. This is going to help me get on the side, and this will help me get on the bottom. All right, so let me get suited up, and I'll show y'all how we do it. I'm going to get started with this easy one first. Technically, you're supposed to strip off all the seasoning before you do this, but I've got some extra flap discs, so I'm just going to slam through it. And all I'm going to do is just smooth out this here on the inside a little bit. So this should be pretty quick and easy. My wife, a beautiful wife, also has on her safety glasses. So you can see I'm just slightly smoothing that out, not going crazy. Less is more here, okay? All right, and that is it for this one. You can see how rough it still is in there, and you still have all the dark spots. You can still see there's a lot of room for that seasoning to get down into that pan. I'm not going to bother with the sides on this one, because I'm really mainly worried about the bottom. So this one's already done. Easy peasy. This one is going to be a damn mess. All right, first I'm going to get this big dust off, or the big rust off, and I'm going to use that cup wheel. And you can see how good that's already starting to look. Try doing that with your freaking Tefal. All right, just like that, you can see I was able to get all those edges in between all those dimples and everything. I'm gonna go and do the top off the camera, and then I'll show y'all me knocking the inside of this out real quick. Alrighty, you can see I was able to get all those edges and everything, and even the handle. Bam. Now for the fun part. Ready? All right, I don't know if y'all be able to see, but you can see this is smooth steel. That's not rust. That is the old seasoning right there. When we're doing this, we want to get all that seasoning off. And that's actually a little bit harder. And that tells you a really good thing about these cast iron pans. You get them seasoned well, that stuff ain't going nowhere. So you can see the difference there, I think. See how that's smooth now and those little black specks are gone? That's what you're looking for. Whew. Getting there. That's about good on that part.
Wait, yeah, what is it?
All right, so you can see here in this groove here, there you got old seasoning and stuff caked up in there really well. So I'm using this little side one, and you want to get in every groove you can, because when you go to season this thing after you clean it, you don't want that old stuff caked up in there. Alrighty, my arms hurt, but you can see here, get some sunlight on there. I've not put any solution or washed this with soap or anything. That is just all from the grinder. I was able to get all the old seasoning out all around. When y'all are doing it, you want to be real sure to get the edges, the lettering, this lip, the handle, because when you season it, you season 100% of the pan. This is the new one. I've already ground the inside out, but I went ahead and used that brush all the way around the outside too to get all the old seasoning off. So the second to last step I'm going to do here is I'm going to use some 80 grit sandpaper. It's a little bit less aggressive than using the flap wheel. And I'm just going to go over the inside to try to get rid of some of the swirl marks and make it look just a little bit more pretty. So I'm just going to go in circles. All right, and now y'all can see some of the swirl marks from the flap wheel are gone. It ain't perfect, but it doesn't need to be, and it's not supposed to be. And then this one, I'm guessing because it's older, it's already pretty smooth. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to sand it by hand just to knock off some of the peaks. And then these will be ready for step 2. Next step here, this is kind of optional, but kind of not. You know, it's really up to you. I'm going to use this CLR product, and it's really good at getting rid of rust. So this pan, because it's new, it's not so necessary, but it will help get rid of some of that, whatever coating is left. But on the pan that was really, really dirty, it'll get the little rust that's in these little pores. So, the dog's wet. All right, I'm just gonna rinse that pan out really well. And then you wanna mix this stuff about a 50-50 solution. It's not cheap. It's not really expensive, but it sure as hell ain't free. So I'm just gonna make a little solution in here and just use it to scrub. So I'll say about that much in there. And the rest with some water. Yeah, that should be about good. And then I'm going to use one of these green Scotch-Brites because, again, it's really abrasive and it's just going to help get any of that stuff that we don't want on there off of there. So I'll just scrub it real good, and then I'll seal inside once I've let this sit for a couple minutes and let it do its magic. Ready. I got these all cleaned up and inside, and you can see this is a brand new one. And you see how light colored that all turned out? That's what you want it to look like before you do your initial seasoning. You don't have to do it like that every time when you season it. But if you do it right, you should only literally ever have to do it once. But that's the nice thing about these tools. Excuse me, I mean, it is a tool. About these pans, is it just shows you how durable they are. When I was using that wire brush, I showed my wife, when I was doing the edges, I was tearing that plywood up. It shows you how durable these are. So, this old one that was out in a barn, you can see it is significantly better. It's not perfect, but again, that's good enough. But it really goes to show you also how, when you season it yourself properly, because this one's brand new, when you season it yourself properly, how well that stuff sticks to the pan. Because I went to town on this thing, and I used chemical. All right, last step before we start the seasoning is I'm going to get a sink of water as hot as I can and put a whole bunch of dish soap in there and scrub these with a soft brush and get them as absolutely clean as I can before I start the seasoning process. While I'm doing that, I've got the oven heating up to 450 degrees, and I'll show y'all why here in a little bit. So now that we've got it all cleaned with really hot soapy water, while the oven is preheating, right when it gets about 200, take these pans and set them in there for about 5 minutes. That's going to preheat the pan. I'll explain more later, but basically put them in there for about 5 minutes. You want them very dry and slightly warm.